What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the breakdown. I am AD, that is JB3, and we are the Breakdown Boys. Money in the Bank came, it went, it was interesting, it was a little controversial, a little divisive, but all in all, I feel like it was an entertaining pay per view and a Sunday night well spent. How do you feel, JB? It was good.
Yeah, man, I was digging it, man. I loved Money in the Bank, and I always get down for Money in the Bank, almost like the Royal Rumble, because you got the Money in the Bank ladder matches, which usually deliver. Now, in the past couple years, these matches and even the angles that they've done with the briefcases have not really been that good, and we're going to talk about that. They haven't been impactful. I mean, maybe a little bit, but not so much. So, yeah, we got Money in the Bank pay per view. We started out with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which I was pretty excited about. We're not going to talk about the pre-show. Let's talk about this ladder match because the ladder match, to me, was good. And I'm glad they started out with this because they didn't have to do too much to get the crowd going, but they did enough. And I really enjoyed some of the things in that match. Carmella, the injury, I don't know what that was all about. I
I
swear.
honestly,
Well, go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first saw it, I looked and I was like, it didn't look clean.
Right.
Like I thought she was trying to kick her hand off the ladder. The whole thing I actually looked like a botch that
Yep.
turned into an injury. And then when she pushed her off and said, stop,
Right.
like
That
she
made it look
literally
real.
said, stop. Like, bitch, I'm hurt. Stop. Right. And then
Yeah.
I don't know if Mandy Rose thought that it was just her being a brat and then went in again and she pushed even harder. She said, yo, stop. And then she went in again and she finally clocked us. She was like, yo, stop. And then
Right.
she
Like,
sat
no,
down and she basically took a timeout from a Money in the Bank match, B. I told you I don't like Carmella. I've been saying I don't like this broad. I got
I don't
into it with
know.
Sandy that time on the kickback because he's over on her and I think she's a waste of space.
Well, see, there's controversy too on Twitter because she had said something about something.
She
Something
said
getting
Mandy
stolen.
Rose isn't safe to work with.
She said
She
Mandy
needs
Rose
to
was
go back to
safe to work
NXT.
with.
But then she made a delete tweet.
Yeah. So yeah. All in all, though, besides that, all things considered, the match was good. There's good spots in it. I called Bayley winning. I glad Bayley won. She did win. Money.
Hold on, JB. We called Bayley winning.
I know
We
we called Bayley winning.
we
Yes,
you
you're correct.
make it sound like I picked Nikki Cross or something. Oh. We can't get off the ladder match. The eclipse off the ladder into the ring.
That was
Remember?
beautiful, man. It was good. I
That
loved
was
it.
dope. That
It
was
was great.
dope.
Heck
So
yeah.
yeah,
And,
Bayley
Nikki
wins.
Cross, my boy Trav picked Nikki Cross. He really wanted her to win. He is happy for Bayley, but he really, really, really wanted Nikki Cross to win. Which I wouldn't have hated it if she won, but I'm glad Bayley won because I don't know. It just seems right, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I also feel like you kill two birds with one stone as if you're backstage with Bayley winning. A, you give her a sense of worth and you repay her for dropping those titles at WrestleMania. Right? It's kind of like a hey, we know that didn't work out and we're sorry, but look, we still have confidence in you as a big star. Here goes a major win and a title push.
I
That
have a
being
theory. I have a
with
theory. I think I know what it
also
might be. I
also
I have a theory, bro.
hold on. The second bird you kill with that stone, it's a subliminal, it's sneak this into to Sasha Banks. Look, bitch, if you would have kept your composure and just did the Wendy Williams show and came back over here and stopped acting like a little brat, that would have been you. Right? So this is that little subliminal F you.
You're my brother, man. You know you're my brother. That's my theory. That's what I was gonna say. So
That's what you were gonna say.
yeah.
My bad, son. My
No,
bad.
hey, it works. Hey, that we great minds, man. Great minds.
I think that's what that is. Yo, moving on. you had that leads into all right. Becky wins the Money in the Bank, and then we
Bayley.
go into the whole. Bayley wins the Money in the Bank. Excuse me. Thank you for correcting me. And then you go right into you go right into Becky and the Lacey Evans match. Yo, I was pleasantly surprised with this match. Lacey Evans. Even though she could clean a couple little things up and she's working out the kinks, I could see her being really good in like a year or two, like really good, 5-star match good.
Oh yeah, for sure. The only thing that I was listening to, I think it was Brian Alvarez. I think he said it, but I agree with one thing. She should not use a regular punch ever because her finish is the woman's right. She should never, ever, ever use a punch. Like, you know how in wrestling matches, be like, oh, he punched him. She should never, ever do that. That's my only thing. But I agree. It was a great match.
Because it takes away from the woman's right.
Yeah, exactly. It takes the mystique out of the finish, the power out of it. Because when she got that power,
I seen her do a jumping moonsault thingy at the Rumble. She missed it, but it looked very athletic and clean. Maybe she should turn the woman's right into the setup to that moonsault. I don't know.
She did that in one of her matches actually on Raw. Actually, the match to get the title shot. She
did that to Natty?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. She did that to Natty. She hit the women's right, and then she hit it the moonsault because she fucking powered her legs, like smacked into her stomach. I think we talked about it, like on the show.
And that's right. It knocked the wind out of Natty. That's right.
Yeah, so hey, you're right though. That moonsault, that could be a finish too. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the woman's right, because then, it can be a different finish. But
because it's real hard to choreograph a match where you can't strike a little bit. Like, what are you gonna do if you can't punch? You know what I mean?
I mean,
elbows,
forearms, kicks, you can get around it. Like I watched
German up. What is it called? The German uppercut.
Yeah. Bro, I watched Ric Flair wrestle a whole match basically without taking one bump, and it was so good. He maybe took like 2 bumps, but it was just the different stuff that they threw in there. You can always do stuff like that's what like Bret Hart was good at that. Like some old school cats are really, 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 really good at that. Triple H.
Yeah, you're asking a lot from Lacey Evans right now, dude. I just gave her a compliment. And now you want her to think. Now you want her to be the woman's
No, I'm just being a super fan. That's all, brother. Look, Lacey had a good match, and it was a good finish because I think that she should have tapped, to the disarm. She did. It was funny that Becky came out, and then all of a sudden Charlotte came out like right away, and it was like, oh,
I enjoyed it. I like the way Charlotte came out. Her music hit. She did her thing, but she came out with a purpose. The way she walked by Becky, like, yo, come on, bitch. Like, come on, where you going? Come on, ring the bell. Let's go. And Becky just looked at her like, this bitch. Like, the way Becky looks at her now, and the way, like, Becky's constantly just looking at Charlotte like, why are you still alive? Like, can I just like choke the air out of you and watch you die at this point? And I know behind scenes they're really good friends, but the hatred that they have between each other at this point,
man, bro, I could feel it. It was a good match. They always have a good match, and I like how it got
very short.
And Lacey Evans, she added to the fuel to the fire for their feud, and she cost her the belt. And man, she cost her the belt. They brawl, right? And then all of a sudden, here it is. Bayley comes out.
Well, they didn't brawl. They jumped her.
Oh, yeah, they jumped. And Bayley comes out, and then boom, 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 clear the ring. And then all of a sudden, Charlotte's laying down in the ring, and then Bayley is just like, oh, man. And then, yep.
She's screaming, I want to cash this in. She was all about that.
I don't think I called Bayley winning. I don't think I called her cash in. I know my boy said she's gonna cash in, bro. We were watching it. He's like,
you know what?
I was like, they did it last year.
You know what everybody was wrong about? you know what everybody was wrong about, and you got to give this to WWE creative. We sat here and we're like, yeah, Becky's gonna defend her belts and be battle weary, and then somebody's gonna cash in on Becky. Somebody's gonna cash in on Becky. That was the running narrative. Somebody's gonna cash in on Becky.
No, right. And
Nobody thought. Nobody thought that the person to beat Becky would get cashed in on. Isn't that fucking nuts?
Yeah, for a second I thought she was gonna cash in on Becky, like, and take the Raw belt, and I would have been like, oh, but it made sense that she took it from Charlotte because and then everything happened. But it was
because believe it or not, that Raw needs Becky right now because besides Lacey Evans, Nikki Cross, and Alexa Bliss, right, who obviously can't wrestle, dude. Let's call it what it is. Not that she can't wrestle, like she doesn't know how. She can't wrestle because, and I've said it on the show. Remember when Nico was on our show a couple of months back? I said her body cannot stand the rigors of day in and day out punishment. She's not built.
I heard she got another concussion. So
yeah, but you know what that comes from?
Yeah, what you just said, right?
You can't absorb the shock of me slamming you or you running into something. At what point? To what end? Because our Alexa Bliss is in her late 20s, right?
Yeah.
When Alexa Bliss is 50, doing an appearance for a Hall of Fame, or where are they now? Is she going to be sitting there drooling because she doesn't remember where her car keys are?
No, she's doing it smart now. No, she's okay. And the good thing is that she's a good personality where she don't have to wrestle all that much, so she can have that limited time. Because even though I'm not really digging her show, I'm actually starting to like it. It's starting to grow on me. Like the thing with the coffee, we'll talk about that later.
That shit. We could talk about it now. We could talk.
Well, wait. So look, but for real, the ladder match was good, and then Bayley winning, and then the title matches, and that whole story. I think that it was done well, and then continuing along with a good show, we come up to the Universal title match, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles, and man, talk about lighting the house on fire, man.
That was a good match, man. Like as somebody who's just getting back into wrestling. Well, not just getting back, but over the last year, I've gotten back into wrestling. I'm not, I haven't seen those old school AJ Styles matches, and what I've seen from Seth, I enjoy, but it's very limited of what I've seen from Seth. To watch that transpire in front of me and to be like, yo. Because I don't know their setups. I don't know how they flow in a match. Everything was hard hitting. It was precise. It had drama. It told the story, and it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Honestly, the ladder match was great. The men's ladder match was awesome. It was violent, but that Seth AJ match was my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, it was perfect. Man. It was one of the perfect matches. I think that it's the beginning of a trilogy. I want to see them go 2 more times at least. I want to see them go in gimmick matches. I would love to see it culminate at SummerSlam and then possibly have Brock cash in after that. I know it sucks. But it's going to happen. You know it is. And it's
all right, so what do you do? Because a trilogy in my world works when it's 1-in-1. If Seth won the first one, you can't tell me AJ loses again at the next pay-per-view. I'm not going to want to see a trilogy at that point because I just saw the guy beat him twice.
Okay.
Especially he beat him head up, clean, right? In a great match. And then if it's a gimmick match and he beats him again, there's nothing else to see. So AJ has to beat him.
I got it. The trilogy doesn't end at SummerSlam. That's the only second part of the saga. Have Seth defended against somebody else. I don't know, like Drew McIntyre or something in Extreme Rules, retain, and then have him defended against AJ Styles at SummerSlam. And then at SummerSlam, it's AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins #2 for the Universal title. And then have AJ beat him for the Universal title at SummerSlam. And then have Brock Lesnar cash in on AJ and win the Universal title from AJ. That way, it's not from Seth, it's from AJ. And then you got this feud because we wanted to see Seth, Brock AJ 2. We didn't get to. Now we get to see Brock AJ again. and then they can do that, and then finally maybe at WrestleMania or something they can finally have the third match between AJ Styles, who got his belt back, against Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins can get his win back or something. That's me. That's me long-term thinking right there. Well, see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah.
For moving on there, Kofi KO. Once again, a good match. I think it suffered from card placement. If it would have been before that fucking instant classic that we just watched, it would have been more appreciated by the general consensus. I've read places that, everybody says the same thing. It was a good match. Was it great? Was it compelling? No, but it was good. It was very entertaining. And it would have been, like I said, more appreciated by me, especially if I didn't have to, if not that I had to see it, but like if I didn't have to see Seth AJ before it, I would have liked it more.
Oh, I agree. I agree completely. It was a good match. I just wish it would have been flopped with that one. That's all. Yeah, and I think that I don't think that Seth and AJ would have suffered. I think that it would have been a good build. There's not really much to talk about with that match. Kofi retains. He's going to be the WWE champion forever.
What? He's a fighting champion.
Champion.
And that leads us to the culmination of the night. The men's money bank.
Ooh, man, that was a fire match.
That shit was violent.
So, can we talk about the spot of the night in this match? Because the spot of the night is in this match. I mean,
were you thinking about Andrade?
Yes. And Finn, when he bounced him 7,000 feet in the air. Right. Dude, he flew up all the way.
And then hit it again.
Yeah. And then hit it again.
Is it me? Or Finn took every violent spot that night? Like if he if he'd been traveling with these dudes and borrowing money every time they stopped to eat, and he owed everybody in the match like a couple $100, they all whooped on Finn Balor's ass. That man caught a whooping.
He did. Beating. That's the weird thing about it too, is because this is the most controversial part, is the fact that not only him, everyone took their beatings. But Finn.
Like Balor?
Finn Balor, no, but Finn took the worst. And then you get to the end of the match, and Ali's up there, and he's about to take it. And you're thinking to yourself, really, is Ali going to do it? Like, I'm so cool with that. Like, I love Ali, man. He got robbed.
I gotta interrupt you. He's not Ali, B. In this house, he's Mustafa Ali.
Okay, yeah. Look, I'm conditioned. They done got me saying Ali.
Oh man, you marking out on me, brother? Come on, come back to the light.
Look, Mustafa Ali. Okay, Mustafa Ali had a rough time missing out. Kofi took his place, and look where he went. So he was gonna win, and then Brock comes out, and then injures people.
Did you see the laceration across his face from when he fell off the ladder and hit the rope with his face?
It's just ridiculous, man.
Did you see the poor cameraman? That spot of the night. The spot of the night goes to those cameramen for taking that bump with the ladder on the dome. That's the spot of the night.
Man. That's the most controversial thing, though. That's the most controversial thing that we got to talk about, because here you got, I'm pretty sure Mustafa Ali was pegged to win it. And I heard that Vince McMahon, again, changed his mind right before the event and all of a sudden wanted to give it to Brock. Brock ain't even in the match. He don't even do a bump. He just climbs up a ladder and grabs it and laughs at everybody. No, Cam, look, I get it. And from a storytelling standpoint, he's a bad guy. That's something a bad guy would do. But also, we're not stupid. And Vince thinks that we're just going to be like, oh, they're going to think he's a bad guy. We're going to be like, no. You just had all those wrestlers wrestle that match and then had somebody come in and just win. Like, how disrespectful is that to them? Like, man, it sucks, but it was a great match. It had shock value. I was like, what? So there's nothing. It did its job in that sense, but it's just, it rubbed me the wrong way, bro.
I got to send a shout out to Sandy and Harley, who said there were going to be 6 and 7 RKOs. We got one. And it wasn't even that good.
It was
was
okay.
just
It was, but hey, we got.
let's call a spade a spade. It was an average RKO. The one on
Yeah,
SmackDown where he caught Ali and Andrade both coming off one after the other from the top rope, that
yes,
was
yes, yes.
a better RKO spot than that shit we got at Money in the Bank. But shout out to Randy Orton. That's my dude.
Well,
Yeah,
it's that
man.
time, bro.
That was Money in the Bank.
What do you give it?
Combatants. Oh, we're gonna rate this bitch, right? 1 to 5. I had a really good night watching this thing. There was a couple little things that, not that it took me out. I'm not gonna even bring up his name because we're not gonna talk about that punk on this show. But yeah, I'll give it a 3.7.
That's nice. I was gonna, you know what? It's really close, but I might have liked it just a little bit more than you then because I'm giving it a 3.75.
You
Three
you
and three
adding
quarter
an extra
stars.
you adding an extra 5/10 That's my brother, man. He's a crazy dude. All right. Yo, once again, Combat Wrestling Network. I am AD. That is JB3. We are the Breakdown Boys, and we out this thing.
Dude.
Deuces.